Good afternoon and welcome to the Geek Show. I'm your host today, Rose Mackay, and with me is my ever faithful co-presenter, Gilmore. Hi Em, how you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
Yeah, just living life and just enjoying it and all that. So, shall we just get started today with our topic of conversation, which of course is the brand new horror film. Well, horror slash, I don't know, sci-fi maybe?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how to describe it.
So M3GAN, or is it...
Is it not M3GAN, because it's like something...
Yes,
it's like Model 3 Generation or something.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's probably wrong. I know it's Model 3 something, but I can't remember what the JAN stands for.
I think probably, generational.
It's just M3GAN.
M3GAN.
That's what she's referred to the entire time.
Exactly, yeah. Nobody's referring to her by her code name. What did you think of the movie? It was pretty good, wasn't it?
I really enjoyed it. I feel like it's one of those films, though, if you like horror, don't go into expecting a horror film, because it doesn't feel like it. Because a lot of people I remember were thinking it was going to be like the next generation of Chucky, which is a bit weird because Chucky's still ongoing very much so.
Yeah.
It's not a parody of films like that, but it does just feel like you shouldn't take it seriously, and that's what makes it enjoyable.
Yeah, like I feel like there was a completely different tone shift in like the trailers. So the first trailer, it had this almost very... It had a creepy sound to it for a long time. I don't know what the music was playing there, but then the second trailer came out and they fully just kind of leaned into this whole like TikTok generation with like the song. And of course, if you were listening in just at the beginning there, we had the song Dolls by, is it Bella Portish or something like that? Yeah. Porch.
It's an interesting song.
It's like, I quite enjoy it.
It's not awful, let's put it that way. But you and I have very different music tastes though.
It's very TikTok sounding.
You can probably work out from this playlist who's picked what songs.
Yes, all my songs are happy and full of joy, and Em's is just death.
I mean, I don't think so. No, I don't. The next one's not.
Okay, yeah. Anyway, so we were saying that we're going to debate this. Is M3GAN a horror or is it a sci-fi?
I say it's more of a sci-fi.
See, I would say it's a horror. Like, it's still got like a lot of horror aspects in there.
I guess so, but then it did also give me like Ex Machina vibes.
Yeah, I mean, I hate Ex Machina because it's just like...
Is it Ex Machina, Ex Machina?
I don't know, I pronounce it Ex Machina. I pronounce it Ex Machina. Because it's like Deus Ex Machina, isn't it? And yeah, Ex Machina for me is... I don't like that movie. Like, I haven't seen
it once. And we studied it in first year.
Yes, we did it in first year. It's one of our movies that we had to watch because that's what we do in our course. We just watching movies.
I thought it was okay. I didn't think either way. I mean, I guess it was just like a 3-hour lecture on a Friday morning. You weren't really in the zone for a film to start with. Yeah.
But like, I suppose with M3GAN, you're going in there not expecting a serious horror movie. It's not the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, is it?
No. They're two very different films.
Though apparently there was an R-rated cut, but because they wanted to appeal to that kind of wider audience of like tweens that they love so much because tweens have money, they decided that they were going to go for a much less graphic depiction of the movie. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to see the R-rated movie now.
I do want to see it, but on the other hand, I think it worked the way it was because, especially in the second trailer release when you had the clips of her dancing, which are even weird with the context in the film. It's still bizarre when it happens, but I think the first trailer when it came out, people were just kind of like, oh, it's kind of like looks like another generic, film, another Blumhouse Productions film. I mean, and then when the second trailer came out with like the weird dancing and the soundtrack and everything, people were like, actually, this seems interesting. Like, it's a bit of an interesting film. I think that's what got people's attention. Wasn't the horror aspects, it was the what is going on with this film aspect.
Yeah, I mean, I think the problem is because they brought it down to, was it a 13 rating?
No, it was a 15.
Was it still a 15? The fact that they brought down the rating, you can kind of tell where they were meant to kill off characters. Mm-hmm. Like, I think, for example, that therapist was definitely decimated in the R-rated movie. Yeah,
you can tell where there probably would have been more detail in the death, and
also the two assistants.
But like the neighbour, I feel like she was more likely to be actually properly seen. I mean, you do kind of see her.
You see the
start of her death, but I feel like there was
a lot more going on.
I just felt like there was definitely more footage they had.
M3GAN wanted to get back at her for that dog. By the way, can I just say, that movie was very humane in its killing of that dog.
Do you know, I am really guilty for this, but see when a human character dies, usually, I don't really care. The dog dies, nope. Can't handle it. When an animal dies in a film, it just gets me every time.
I think that's a sign of a sociopath right there, right?
Do you know what's really bad is, I was watching over Christmas, this film about this dog that, like, different lives follows its owner and stuff like that, and then, but one of them, like, of her life. She dies in a car crash, and I was crying so much that the youngest one, Poppy, of my dogs, she had to lick the tears off my cheeks. But if a human dies, usually I'm fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's surprisingly humane with the dog, because you don't actually ever see the dog or the dog's body. You just see the dog getting led off into the night and the owner pacing the street.
Because I remember I went to see it with one of my mates. It wasn't with you, unfortunately. No. But I remember she's also got a dog. I think also we get more attached because we are dog. Well, you're not got a dog, but we are dog people. Me and my friend. And we were both. She was just sitting there like, not the dog. Better not be the dog.
But also the two assistants. I am pretty sure they were meant to die, and you can kind of see in this scene where she blows up the lab. You're like, yeah, they're definitely dead.
Yeah, then
because in theory, she's blown up the lab and they're lying on the floor. So it'd be the perfect time for M3GAN to go in there and get her own back after they've been beating her with sticks for the last months.
Yeah, I think the film was enjoyable. In terms of also just how the way it was filmed, because they didn't release until after a few weeks of it being out how they actually filmed M3GAN herself.
Yeah, because it was a wee kid actor in there, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a 12-year-old actress, and then it was an older girl who voices her.
They've got the stunt. No, so does the wee girl do the wee stunts as well, or?
I don't know. I meant to actually look into that. I feel like such a fake film enjoyer. I didn't research that. I mean,
it was really good makeup and special effects and all that, because it's a rubber mask that she's wearing.
Yeah, so they CGI'd the last bit, because I was looking at obviously on the cinema, so that's definitely got to be CGI'd. There's no way they have made a practical face like that, because if they had, it'd be really freaky.
I mean, I think they did the silicone face and then they CGI the eyes or something like that.
Yeah, but I thought it was really impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I think the whole movie is an amazing commentary on this idea that we are kind of raising kids now with tablets and technology, and it's like the dad said, what's the point in buying a toy if you've got to play with it on an iPad?
Yeah, that's quite true actually.
Yeah,
I did feel, however, it was an enjoyable film. It did fall into quite a lot of tropes, but they didn't feel. Sometimes you weren't surprised it did. Like the aunt who,
doesn't want to talk to that kid
becomes the mom, and it's just like, oh, do you mind holding down the fort for a little bit? I've got a job to do. That's such a stereotypical plot line for us to go.
Yeah, I mean, I also just think that can we just say Gemma is definitely getting arrested at the end of that movie.
Oh, child neglect.
The second movie, because obviously there's a second movie being kind of.
Is there?
Yeah, there's kind of a thing on the internet right now. We're all putting a second M3GAN. But the aunt deserves to go to prison. They should definitely open up with her in prison. Her creation has murdered a whole bunch of people, very violently, by the way, all because she was didn't want to tell the kid about death. She was
she kind of did basically commit unintentional manslaughter.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is I think this movie actually did Ultron better than Avengers Age of Ultron. I'm going to put that out there. When you think about it, the reason Katie was bad.
I didn't even think of comparing the two, but
yeah, the reason Katie was bad is she realises that death is a thing, and she's like, humans are awful.
I know, because here's the thing: was M3GAN really a villain? No, because she did what she was programmed to do.
She murdered folks. So.
Yeah, but she was programmed to literally protect Katie the entire time, and that's what she did. You didn't specify don't kill people for it.
Yeah, and can we just give a quick shout out to the actress who played Katie? Honestly, that was some stunning work.
Yeah, she was really good.
I mean, I know we see a bunch of child actors and they're all remarkably good at throwing pretend tantrums. You just like to think they must just lock them in a room and wait for them to throw a tantrum and film it.
Roll the camera.
Roll the camera.
My bracelet just rattled there. That's not going to do it now. Hold on, I was like...
Nah, it's not doing it now.
It was.
But I think... Honestly, amazing kid acting talent there, because that is so rare. Usually you can tell when a kid is acting. So I think overall I really enjoyed this movie. I'm still going to argue that it's a horror, because I am sure one day they will release the R-rated cut and it's going to be probably...
To be fair though, horror doesn't mean it has to be scary. It's more of a genre, because technically the Addams Family is in a horror category. It's just not scary.
Yeah,
so you could class it as horror.
I mean, I would say that it's horror and sci-fi mixed together, because sci-fi is basically just a horror trope, really, when you think about it.
Well, unless it's Star Wars, there's nothing really scary in that.
Yeah, true. Still, there's the whole isolation of space and wizards and laser swords.
But sci-fi and horror usually goes hand in hand.
Hand in hand, because let's be honest, there's nothing scarier than either technology or space.
Yeah, because you've got Alien, Event Horizon. That's two that I can name on top of my head there.
Yeah, honestly, so quick round up here before we finish this section. M3GAN, how many stars would you give it?
Probably about 3.5. I don't think out of 5. I don't think it quite pushes the 4.
I would definitely give it probably 4 stars. I think. Yeah.
I'm too sceptical when it comes to films now, though. I really have become really sceptical when it comes to films. It's really bad.
Yeah, you're just like sitting there waiting for the mistakes to happen.
I still enjoy like films. Obviously, I don't go in and go, oh, it's gonna be bad. But
yeah. See, I think, Megan, if you go in there with low expectations, you're just like, it's just going to be a campy horror /
yeah, if you're going into it thinking it's going to be the next big grand scale horror slasher, then that's not what it's going to be.
Yeah, and you'll come back disappointed. So yeah, I think that's it. I think that wraps up this section. So the next section we're going to be doing is obviously going to be the Oscars, which, when is that again?
March the 17th, I think.
We've got a long time to go, which gives us plenty of time to watch those movies. But, we'll have a quick discussion after the next song, which, of course, is Never Let Me Down by
Depeche Mode. Oh
Depeche
my
Mode.
gosh, you did not just butcher that.
I did,
what?
Yes. Anyway, so let's move on to that, shall we? Hello and welcome back to the Geek Show. Sorry about that, we had a bit of a glitch with our systems, and of course, that was not...
Never Let Me Down.
Never Let Me Down. That was Sweet Dreams. These by Euromith. Yeah, and I can't say something.
You really are struggling to do.
Yeah.
I had to sort it. Basically, there's this weird thing over the play button.
You know what? We don't need to decide.
Yeah.
Anyway, because people are going to be listening to this later, so they're going to be
like, what are you on about?
Anyway, so yeah, welcome back. So our second part today, because we realised we couldn't talk the whole show about M3GAN. As amazing
good
as
film, but it wasn't that very long.
Yeah, exactly. So although we could do that, we're going to do next our Oscars kind of section, which of course kind of is a bit of a thing we do every now and again with the Geek Show because we love our movies and we
once
like
a year, weirdly enough.
I think we've done like 2 or 3 of these now where we've just chatted about the Oscars. I think we also we've done a couple of Oscar reaction stuff.
Yeah, it kind of got in trouble with COVID though.
Yeah. Remember COVID? That was a thing.
Those days?
Remember those happy days when we were all
days.
very, very happy. Anyway, so let's just chat about the nominations, which I'm not gonna lie, I looked at the list and some of the movies I don't recognise and some of them I very much do.
So what do you talk about first? Because I feel like the screenshots you've sent me, there's not got the entire list, so we have to re-Google someone.
Anyway, let's start with the Best Picture, shall we?
Okay, yeah, I've got that.
Best Picture. So of course that is Top Gun Maverick, Women Talking, Everywhere Everything All at Once, The Banshee of Inisherin. Inisherin. And is there any others or is it only 4?
No, there's 10.
10? Do you have the list there?
I have the list. I think this is small. Hold on.
This is what happens when you screenshot
1, 2,
something.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, yeah, so we've got those
4 I just mentioned there.
and then we've got Triangle of Sadness, The Fabelmans, All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar The Way of Water, Elvis and Tar.
That is a lot of movies, isn't it?
They expanded the category this year to basically allow films like Top Gun Maverick and Avatar to get in.
See...
So films people more
likely
to
have
seen.
Is it bad that I've not watched Top Gun Maverick?
Even I've seen it. I've not even seen the first one. I knew enough to understand Top Gun Maverick. It's a good film. It was definitely a proper summer blockbuster.
Yeah, I suppose. It's just I wasn't that
enjoyable.
interested.
I liked it. It kind of just felt like Star Wars though, but just on Earth. Because they literally did a trench run to blow up a base.
Yeah, Women Talking I've not watched yet, but I've heard some good stuff about
came out.
It's like that's the thing is in America things come out like 3 months ahead of us, so
UK distribution when it comes to a lot of films is still it's not as bad as it used to be in the past.
Yeah.
We had to wait like sometimes a year, but here it's still really, really bad.
Yeah, it's really, really slow. Like we've still got the loading screen going for some of these. Everything Everywhere All at Once, that was a fantastic
so
movie.
good.
Honestly, one of the best this year. Is definitely a top contender, I reckon.
It's in my top 50 films of all time.
We've then got The Banshees of Inisherin.
I love that film. Yeah. I've seen it like 3 times or something now.
I've not seen that one.
What? It's so good.
I mean, part of the fun of this is when the lists are released, I immediately have to go and watch at least half of these movies. So
I've not seen that many on this, to be fair.
Yeah, then we've got The Triangles of Sadness. You watched that?
No, I've not seen that, but I know of it.
The Fabelmans. I've seen the trailers for that. I don't
saw
know
that on Saturday.
Is it out right now in the UK?
It's really good. It's really good.
Is it a Steven Spielberg's biopic?
It's kind of a semi-biopic, so basically it's kind of based on his life, but I'm not sure exactly how much of it is true.
Right.
But it's really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Of course, we've got All Quiet on the Western Front. I think that was a particularly horrifying / shocking war
I've
movie.
not watched that.
It's one of these
I don't
movies...
want to get emotionally destroyed by it.
It's one of these movies where it is very realistic in its depictions of World War I.
Yeah.
So it reminds you why we should enjoy peace while we still have it.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we then have Avatar: The Way of Water, something which I managed to go and see while I was on a date. Honestly, not too bad. 3 hours, didn't feel like it.
It's an interesting one to go on a date before.
I mean, it was either that or I think it was A Man Called Otto, and that sounded really boring. Of course, we've got Elvis as well, where Austin Butler
I've actually not seen Elvis.
has basically done an Elvis impression. It was okay.
I've not seen it.
But again, you know my feelings about like biopics for musicians and stuff like that.
Yeah, I feel like they're a bit of an... I feel like they're too of an easy card to play for the Oscars.
They do every single year. There's always at least one, I reckon. And of course, then we have Tar, whatever. It's about. I think that's another one I need to go and watch. It's all about this whole like high stress environment and.
Yeah, it's on my list to watch.
Yeah.
I think it only just came out a couple of weeks ago here.
Yeah.
So it's kind of.
Yeah, I mean, it was either Tar or it was either that or The Menu, and I chose The Menu.
Oh, The Menu's good.
Again, why is that not on the Oscars list?
I mean, it's not. I don't think it's not Oscar standard. What is Oscar standard at this point? But anyway.
Yeah, true. Anyway, so let's move on to the best actors, shall we?
Okay, hold on, I need to Google. Oh no, actually, I don't know who the extra one is. It's not on this list.
So we have Brendan Fraser in The Whale, Austin Butler again, Colin Farrell, and Bill Nighy.
And then there's also the first one's Paul Mescal for After Sun.
Yeah. I mean, all some like pretty recognisable names there, so
yeah,
it's going to be a tough fought one, I reckon.
I think it's either going to be Brendan Fraser, Austin Butler, or Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
That from what I've seen people talk about, I think it's going to be those three.
Yeah, and you usually have like the person that's just kind of happy to be there, sort of thing, and then
yeah. So I think they were the three that was definitely guaranteed nominations.
Yeah.
Because the way the Oscars work, you have to kind of campaign to get votes by the Academy and stuff.
Yeah.
It's a weird one. I didn't really
It's a
understand
weird system that nobody knows how it works.
But Bill Nighy and Paul Mescal were the two extra ones that were surprises, but yeah.
And of course, we've done the gentlemen, let's do the ladies now, shall we? So we had Andrea Riseborough, Michelle Williams, Kate Blanchett, Ana de Armas, and do you have that other one there?
I'm about to get it.
Oh my goodness, this is what happens when you don't print off the list and you just take screenshots.
Probably
and you
done
get
this.
4.
Okay, so leading is Kate Blanchett for Tar, Michelle Williams for The Fabelmans, Andrea Riseborough for To Leslie, Andy Arms for Blonde, Michelle Yeoh for Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Again, some like pretty fantastic movies there. I mean, I know there was a lot of controversy over Blonde.
Yeah.
It's a weird nomination because it did get so much controversy. It's almost like nominating, like, for example, The Disaster, the movie that was Music, for Best Actress. But yeah, again,
the shocker one was Andrea Riseborough for To Leslie, because basically apparently she started like her campaign literally about 2 weeks ago.
Really?
Or 2 weeks before the nominations were due. And they did an investigation into it, but apparently it's all lawful. It was weird because it literally just came out of nowhere. She was the unexpected fifth one.
I mean, again, round of applause for everyone nominated. Because it's like, to be nominated is an honour, to be honest, let's be honest.
Right, wasn't it?
So, should we do the, best animated feature? Because, you know, I do love my animated movies. So we have, of course, Disney Turning Red, which was pretty good, I won't gonna lie. We had, I'm not going to pronounce that guy's name, we had Pinocchio. There was 3 Pinocchio movies made this year, by the way.
I thought it was only 2.
No, there was a weird Russian one as well.
Oh, wait.
They have Marcel with the shell and the shoes on.
Oh, I really want to see that. But I didn't see that's out here yet, actually.
I mean, the thing is, I think animated movies do tend to kind of get glossed over with the like nominees and everything like that. But like, the amount of work that goes into animation is like crazy.
I can't find the 5th one.
There's probably not a 5th one, let's just ignore it.
There is. It's going to annoy me. Sorry, 5th film. I can't find you.
Just type in.
I typed Best Animated Features Oscars 2023 and it's just not coming up. It's only giving me the list that you've got. It's got 4 on it.
Well, it must only have 4. So let's just leave it at that, shall we?
Maybe.
Don't go digging for something that isn't there, because otherwise you'll end up at the core.
I can always guarantee it's there. I bet I'll find it as soon as we go off air and I'll be raging.
Anyway, of course, we have our Best Supporting Actors as well, which has Brandon Gleeson from The Banshee of Inisherin.
I'm going to
Brian Tyree Henry, The Causeway, Judd Hirsch, The Fabelmans, Barry Cogan, The Banshee of
Inisherin. Just gonna keep saying it until you get it.
I think I'm gonna pause so you can just say it. Again, like some pretty well known names there.
And the main one, Ke Huy Quan for Everything Everywhere at Once. He's the fifth one. It's not there.
Of course, I don't know why I didn't like.
I would say he's pretty much guaranteed to win that because he was amazing in that.
And so there isn't really much of a competition there unless someone pulls like a fastball or something like that.
Yeah, so the other ones I get why they're there, but Jude Hirsch was a bit of an interesting one, especially because I saw The Fabelmans, and he's barely in it. He's literally only got about 10 minutes screen time, so for him to get supporting actor was not really. So for him to get it over some other people, and that was a bit of a weird one. But
it's probably the fact that he's very well known, so like he can honestly be on there for a minute.
Maybe.
Anyway, Best Supporting Actress. So we have Angela Bassett for Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Kerry Condon from The Banshees of
Inisherin,
Jamie Lee Curtis for Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Stephanie Hsu from Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Who's the first? The first one is the girl from the whale, and it's going to annoy me what her name is.
I mean, honestly, can I just say, I think Everywhere, Everything, Everywhere, Everywhere, All at Once, I think that is going to be the top winner of the night.
I mean, it's leading with the most nominations at 11, because then joint second with 9 each is The Banshees of Inisherin and All Quiet on the Western Front.
Yes.
I really should not know this off by heart.
And of course, you know what, we have given a big round of applause to those that are in front of the camera, but let's also just give a quick round of applause to those that are behind the scenes.
I've got the fifth one. Hong Chow.
Hong Chow.
She's the fifth actress for it.
Cool. Anyway, so the best visual effects, we have Top Gun Maverick, we have Black Panther Wakanda Forever, All Quiet on the Western Front, and Avatar The Way of Water.
There's a fifth one. This is really annoying. Why is it only showing 4?
Here, just Google it, honestly.
That's what I'm doing.
I'm
so sorry for this mess.
This section's going to be so messy, but that is honestly the Geek Show in a nutshell. We are messy to the extreme. Anyway, so I honestly have no objections to any of the best visual effects nominations, because honestly those are some pretty stunning movies to look at. Especially, me and my mum were talking about it. We're talking about Avatar The Way of Water, and we were saying that mum didn't like the story, but she was like, didn't like the story, but it was stunning to look at.
I've got the fifth one.
What's the fifth one?
The Batman.
Batman.
I was thinking it was going to be the Batman.
Why was it I didn't think the Batman? Because yes, we're going to talk about that. You know what,
because the Batman's amazing.
Let's stop reading the list out for now, because I think we're just kind of struggling here. So let's just talk about some of the best. Like, who do you think is going to get the number one? Like, number of Oscars?
What do you mean, film-wise?
Yeah, film-wise.
I don't know. I feel like maybe Everything Everywhere All at Once is going to get a lot.
Yeah.
I think it's probably might get the most, but you never know. Sometimes you get some absolute shockers.
That's true.
Like the La La Land Moonlight. Happened a few years ago.
I think it's one of these things. It's a bit of a risk to sometimes have the biggest number of nominations, because you assume then you're going to do great, but then it just means that you have more chances to be snubbed.
Yeah.
You know, like, I'm trying to think of a number of, like, La La Land, that had a lot of snubs, didn't it? Or was that another
one?
Well,
they thought it won, and then, because they read out the wrong card, and then it turns out it hadn't won.
Yeah, the biggest snub of Oscar history. And of course, like, will you watch the Oscars? Because this is the thing I always wonder.
Well, it's on from like midnight till 3, so I guess it depends on anything on the next day.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, for me personally, I've never watched the Oscar ceremony live.
No, I quite like just waking up to seeing all the news reports and what chaos happened, like last year's interesting mishap.
Yeah, of course. We're talking about the biggest elephant in the room here, of course, which is Will Smith. So he will not be attending the ceremony.
No, he's banned for like 10 years or something, which I think is a bit extreme.
I mean, to be fair, violence is never the answer.
Yeah, but they didn't ban some dodgy
people
true. That are there, so
at the end,
a bit of hypocrisy there from the Oscars.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, one of my things is I always thought that whole thing was staged until the slap happened, and I was like,
I still don't even know if it was or not. I can't tell.
I mean, if it was staged, it'd be a bit of a cheek for them to like ban him.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know.
Anyway, so of course we have some of the MCU movies finally making it into the Oscars, and of course it's not the ones we want, it's Black Panther.
Yeah, but like what other one would contest last year?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think I've said to you that the MCU in my eyes has kind of gone downhill.
The MCU, it has its odd good thing. Like the shows are overall okay, but film-wise, I'm not going to say, here's how I describe it. I'm describing it as a car crash that is currently in progress. I feel like it's imploding on itself. Like it started off on a high, you know, top speeds, everyone shouting, whee! And then it's car crashed with Thor Love and Thunder. Yeah, Multiverse of Madness, the more I think about it, wasn't as bad as I thought it was, because we've now got Love and Thunder, which was way worse. Yeah, it's like MCU are trying to see if they can outdo themselves. Like, I think that's what it is. I think it's just because they're so rushed with their films, a lot of them now. Yeah, I mean, especially the CGI. Yeah, because we always used to, it was almost like, was it 1 or 2 MCU movies a year or something like that? Mm-hmm. And then, obviously, the pandemic happened, and that's understandable that they had a lot of stuff ready to go, but they couldn't. It was sitting on the launch pad. Yeah. Which is obviously why the whole kerfuffle with the streaming platform happened. But yeah, I mean, I think this year is going to be an interesting one. I think there's going to be a lot of awkward laughs as some people make references to the slap. I wonder if it's going to get brought up in the ceremony. It's going to be interesting. You know what? I'm just hoping that this year will be a very boring ceremony. You know, there'll be no violence, and they'll all be hugging and cheering each other on. Yeah. Let's make it that. Nobody joke about each other's wives. That is the level that we're working with right now. Yeah. Anyway, so our next song, of course, was one we were meant to play earlier. Never Let Me Down by Depeche Mode, because you can't pronounce it apparently. I can't pronounce things today, and that is entirely my fault. Anyway, so let's get on with it, shall we?
Hello and welcome back. So we are now officially on section 3, which I promise will be a little bit less messy than the last section you just listened to.
We did plan it out, to be honest.
Yeah, it's our first week back in the studio, back to when we first,
That was the
started.
microphone. I tried to move it, it made a really weird noise.
Just a sound effect.
It needs some WD-40 on it, jeez.
And that's what Coach Studio needs a bit of WD-40, to be fair.
Just douse the whole building.
Yeah,
just douse the whole building.
People might think we're starting a fire, but in reality, we're just
oiling.
Everywhere. Anyway, so we thought for this section we'd discuss, we just reminisce about the year that's passed, 2022. Which, let's be honest, feels like it was a long time ago. It's only been, 34 days?
3 days. No,
34.
what's this? The third?
34
days.
Yeah, so... How would you sum up? If you had to sum up last year in one word, how would you sum it up?
Chaotic, I guess.
I mean, it wasn't chaotic as like the year before that or the year before that.
No, I mean, it was my first full year having not lived with my parents, though.
I think it felt...
It was the first year, the entire year that I didn't live with them.
You know how I describe it? I would describe it as probably pretty fresh. Because, we're getting fresh. Yeah, it's like, the last 2 years were a bit stale, and now we've finally got some fresh air.
I mean, fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, with that, we had a lot of time to watch our usual TV and radio. We had time to watch our TV and film.
Yes, I love watching our radio.
Yes.
I love just staring at the small text just scrolling past.
So I think you were saying that you kind of fell a bit in love, as did majority of the internet, with Stranger Things.
Oh yeah, Stranger Things not volume 1, that's volume 1 and 2 of season 4 were great. It was a proper summer vibe, and what made it all so much better was I watched it with my flatmate at the time, and then we had a watch along party for volume 2 with one of our other friends, and that was great. We're sitting there with bingo cards trying to predict what happened. I think I won. I think I predicted 3 things right. Can't remember what they were. But yeah, no, Stranger Things was a proper summery show. Not really actually the show itself being that summery. I was thinking it was set in autumn. But yeah, it was good.
I think the thing was I've actually never watched Stranger Things, and for that I will be crucified one day.
I thought you'd watched season 1.
I watched half of season 1 and then felt ill and then couldn't do the show. It was all very, very sad. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't enjoy Stranger Things, but it was actually quite nice to see a fandom where everyone had been brought together and they weren't fighting and stabbing each other in the line.
No. See at the end.
See that was what I saw.
People just started literally, from what I can tell, bullying each other's in it, and I'm going, it's a show. What are you doing? It's really
I mean, that's what we really want from a fandom, isn't it? Is passion. Hopefully nice passion, but we like a good argument from time to time. Just don't turn.
We don't want any of that toxicity passion.
Yeah, we don't want that. And of course, we had another fandom which I think has been revived for the last 2 or 3 years. We had Star Wars as well.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to Mandalorian season 3.
March the 1st, I think it is, isn't it?
I mean, Disney are definitely hyping that up. They know that is their one golden ticket right there, which is love Star that Wars. We could just watch Grogu for hours.
Oh yeah.
Come on.
He's literally like a little instant hit of serotonin. Just watching him.
Some of the other Star Wars hasn't been successful in my eyes, like the Book of Boba Fett.
It only got good when the Mandalorian showed up.
Yes, when it became the Mandalorian.
A good sign.
Yes.
Boba Fett's a great character when you don't use him that much, but you try actually develop as a character, he's not that interesting. Yes. His whole mysterious persona of just being there and just looming over was what made him so great.
Yes, they didn't seem to realise that what made him so interesting was the fact we do nothing about him.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, for the Book of Boba Fett, all I saw him doing was walking around
a random town.
Luke's old town, by the way. Is it Luke's old town?
No, it wasn't even Mos Eisley. I can't remember the name. It was Mos something, but it wasn't Mos Eisley.
Let's just be honest here. Luke just really wanted to join the Empire because it seems like everything happens in Tatooine now.
Yeah, I know. There's so many other planets in that universe that have been mentioned, or galaxy, what we call it, and they always go to Tatooine. I'm like, I love it, but we gotta move on.
Yeah,
we gotta move on.
We don't like sand anymore.
We've all become Anakin.
Yeah, we do, don't we? Anyway, so what was another fandom you enjoyed?
I got into Buffy the Vampire Slayer in a big way.
Yes, you did. I remember.
I got into a massive way. Me and my flatmate we'd watched Scream Queens, I think, together, and then we were like, oh, what should we watch now? We're just flicking for Disney Plus. And we're like, oh, Buffy. Oh, I want to watch it. Oh, same. Let's watch it.
Yeah.
I've not been the same since.
We just sat there just watching it over
all 7
again.
seasons are just.
And if you want to hear any more about Em's obsession with Buffy, it's on our Geek Show YouTube channel for, is it 3 hours?
I actually don't know. It's on the YouTube. I think it's in parts. There was 4 of us talking. You're not there because you don't watch it. But that was like a wee smooth bit of advertising there. That was a little bit well
smooth promotion. What can I say? I watched a lot of YouTube where everyone wants to like be like, let's not talk about that now. Go back and listen to it.
Yeah, no, well done. Well done.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? Maybe there is a place in PR for me after all. Anyway, and let's just finish up with the final fandom that I really, really enjoyed, which you haven't watched yet, was of course Snowpiercer Season 3, which has now just become a bit of a train crash that we all want to watch now. Ironically...
Is that a joke?
That is a joke.
Because I know the premises, I was like, there is a train in that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the whole of the Snowpiercer fandom is kind of united in this whole... Anyway, if you're on Reddit, I don't know if Reddit's a reliable place to...
I'm not on Reddit.
...chat about your fate like in a fandom, because it just seems to be a pit of hatred half the time.
Wow.
Reddit, a pit of hatred. That's definitely the tagline. Before that could be actually Twitter.
No, it should be Reddit, hate it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, that's a good one.
I'm on fire today. I'm not going to mention the other one was earlier.
Reddit, if you ever want to hire for your PR company, yeah.
I have work experience
just
in PR.
Message us, message us because we come as a duo. Okay.
Yeah, true, we do.
True, yeah. If anybody knows us, we're basically like, there's never one without the other half the time.
It's that, like, that audio one, it's like, when one of you turns up the other one, it's like, where's the rest of you?
I mean,
I
definitely I still want you to watch Snowpiercer. This isn't me hating on it.
I've got so many things to watch, though.
We've got 4th season and that's it, done and dusted.
Oh.
Because, but actually there's a little bit of drama going on right now. A little bit of tea.
No spill.
Yeah, so TNT, who were the original, like, distributors for America and Canada, I think, have decided that despite the fact that it's in post-production, so it's all been filmed, it's just been edited now.
Right.
They've decided they don't want to distribute it anymore.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that affects the Netflix.
Affects the Netflix.
The
Netflix. The one and only.
The Netflix gods. I don't know if it affects Netflix, but it probably will because, everything seems to fit Netflix at the moment,
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow.
Oh, well. Yeah, so we've done a lot of watching of TV.
Yeah,
and
so you've only got 1 season of Snowpiercer left. I've only got 1 season of Stranger Things left because it comes out... Well, I think they're filming the end of this year.
See, I'm always reluctant about finales because finales can either go really, really well where you'll leave feeling happy and content, or really, really bad where you'll feel dissatisfied and angry.
I'm like that with Buffy, so it's got 7 seasons.
Yeah.
And the finale is good, but I still finished it going...
Yeah,
it's
one of the reasons I tell people...
a bit more to the finale.
It's one of the reasons I tell people to watch Game of Thrones now. It's because the ending's going to be awful. So, you've not got any expectations.
I just can't be bothered. I also don't have Now TV.
This is also me kicking Em under the table to tell them to go and watch Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I can't be bothered. I don't have Now TV. So.
I mean, I've told you, you've also got House of the Dragon as well, which, yeah.
It's just, see, I'm not a big fan of full-on fantasy like that, unless it's Lord of the Rings. That's a whole different case. I love it.
Like, I'm not into fantasy then apart from
Lord of the Rings is an exception.
Hey, this is Lord of the Rings, but with some stuff. I will not say that on air.
Yeah, that's why I don't watch it. It's because of that stuff.
Well, what can I say? Anyway, so next up we have got Goths from Sidewalk and Skeletons. I apologise, listeners. I did have planned to have
this, apparently, and I don't know how, was my top played song according to Spotify last year. Feel free to judge me all you want because I genuinely am confused. Apparently I played it 4 times in one day.
I mean, the plan was to have me, you, because then we'd have happy, sad, happy, sad, happy. And that way...
I'm actually depresso espresso right now.
Yeah, just a little bit, but
I'm not.
Things never go to plan on Radio Caley, and that's part of the fun of it. That's why we do it. Anyway, so we have Goth from Sidewalk and Skeletons.
Pronounce that out.
Hello and welcome back to Radio Caley. This is our 4th and final section of the show, which, has been a bit of a...
It's been an interesting show.
It's been a messy moment.
It's been unorganised. Do you know, not to make an excuse for us, but we have a big project due next Friday, so...
That is you making an excuse.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
But I'm not making an excuse, but...
But that's why we're bad today.
Incoming excuse. We've not been bad, we've just been messy. That's what I'm going to say. This should be the Radio Caley, the messy hour. Anyway,
let's just name it that.
We thought that we'd finish, with just what we're looking forward to this year, because after all, we're only 34 days into this, like 365.
Yeah, it's not a leap year. Next year is a leap year.
I love how I don't keep track of my leap years.
It has to be a multiple of 4.
Okay. Anyway, so we have a lot to look forward to in that scheme. We have, of course, we just mentioned there, The Mandalorian Season 3, which I think is the final season.
It hasn't been confirmed or denied if it is or not, so I guess
I don't know how long they can go without us getting bored.
Yeah, because I do feel like the story's heading to an ending. So.
Like, I feel like... How do you think there's a point where shows just have to stop?
Oh yeah,
like,
so many shows.
I'm
that
gonna
you
lie,
watch,
it's
like,
probably after season 4 or season 5.
Unless it's Buffy.
Because I think there's just a point where either they have to pull something completely different.
Yeah.
Which then is not the same show you began with.
Mm-hmm.
Or they've got to keep going with the same stuff, and that just gets boring. Like,
yeah, no, I agree.
It's like eating... if we had The Mandalorian for the rest of our lives, it'd be like eating birthday cake every day. Yes, it would taste good, but we will eventually feel sick after all that sugar.
You've been having that metaphor stashed, and you've waited to use it, I can tell.
Yeah. What can I say? Disney is basically a birthday cake for me.
Yeah, true.
Sometimes it's a bit too sickly sweet. What can I say? I'm the queen of metaphors today, I think. That's what it is.
Yeah, you are.
Anyway, so what else do we have coming up? Like
Scream 6.
Yes, that is
also
something.
March.
Please tell me we're going to go and watch that. Like, is there a release night, like a midnight screening where we can go and watch it?
Don't know, but I'll look into it. It looks
there will
so
be. There'll
good.
be some cinema.
Have you seen the trailer?
Yes, it does look so. Thing is, I still need to watch Scream Season 5.
He's got a shotgun.
It's
the first time Ghostface has come up with a shotgun.
He's finally realised that the night.
Then you don't have to go proximity to get your victim.
He's like, oh, barbaric. You know, I need to.
You've not seen Scream 5, have you?
I've not. Remember, because we had our amazing moment at Comic-Con where somebody asked the voice of Ghostface if Dewey would be coming back. To which I shouted out, Dewey's dead?
I did warn you. I told you if you hadn't watched it, you're going to get spoiled at some point. I mean, I cannot be responsible for it.
I love how you pre-warn me 5 minutes before it starts, as if I'm going to suddenly speed watch Scream 5.
Well, anyway, yeah, no, I'll lend you DVD of Scream 5.
Yeah, I mean, we've got plenty of that sense to look forward to. We've of course got, let's think here, you definitely don't watch this show, but we have You, Season 4, Part 1 and Part 2.
I don't know how that's a big thing. Why is there a big show about a character who's a stalker? I mean, does he not kill the girl in the first season? He
kills every girl.
Right, so why is he a protagonist? I don't understand this.
His show is basically him murdering people, but justifying it to himself.
Sounds rubbish.
Thing is season 1 is
just
the
not very
best.
exciting. Season
1 is the best because it leans into this. It reminds you constantly that Joe is in the wrong and he's a creepy guy, and you should not want to be like him. But season 2 and season 3, season 2 was good, but season 2 and season 3, the problem is they lent a bit too far into the rom-com.
Oh, okay.
Because I think Netflix wasn't actually originally producing You. It was originally, I can't remember, Lifetime I think it was for season 1.
Right.
And you can tell the tone and shift and everything like that.
I have some films here that I'm looking forward to.
That is good. So, right, what are you looking forward to?
So first up we have, right, this sounds absolutely insane, this film, but it's kind of based on a true story.
Is this the bear on
Cocaine Bear? Oh, I'm so excited about it. Basically, this bear acts ingests, cocaine, and goes on a wee rampage. It's based on a story. I don't think the bear actually went on a rampage, but it looks so good.
I mean, I think it looks fantastic from the trailer, and I just hope it's not like one of these movies where the trailer gives everything away quite quickly.
So I also got Scream 6, the Mario movie. That looks iconic. I'm so excited. The horror film, Pearl, finally gets released in the UK here.
Of course.
It's been available since September, I want to say.
Yeah.
That's finally getting released here. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Yeah. Which I'm looking forward to.
I'm not ready for.
My main theory is that Drax and Rocket are bye-bye.
Yep. Next Spider-Verse film, Across Spider-Verse Part 1 comes out. Indiana Jones 5 and Barbie. Barbie looks amazing.
Barbie does look pretty good.
That's the only ones I can really think of.
I mean, I think we've got a lot to look forward to in the TV front as well, because
we've got Ahsoka.
We have got Ahsoka coming up, which I think is going to be fantastic because I love Ahsoka.
Mm-hmm.
We also have, just going away from Star Wars and Disney in general, we have Lockwood & Co., which is currently on Netflix right now. I've watched the first 2 episodes. I'm not going to lie, it is very good. I do think it's pretty cheesy.
The biggest thing, Doctor Who's 6th anniversary. How the heck's that just slipped my mind?
How did we miss that? And of course, we will also have, with the 60th anniversary, we will also have the regeneration by the end of the year, I reckon. I think it's October.
Yeah.
So David Tennant will be reprising the role for, I think it's
3 episodes.
Is it 3 or 4 standalone episodes? I'm saying 3 or 4.
It's 3. I know
Okay,
it's 3.
fine. It's 3 episodes. I want an extra one. Okay, you know, maybe they'll do the whole Sherlock.
True. Oh, true.
Remember when we all thought that Sherlock, the final episode was so bad, we thought there had to be a secret 4th episode coming.
Yeah, I don't remember what happened to Sherlock, to be
That
honest.
was an interesting moment because we were all just in complete denial about that, I think. Anyway, so we have that, and we've also got, well, let's have a look here. We've got Bridgerton as well, which announced recently that the main character for Daphne will not be returning.
Oh.
Yep, she's claimed
I don't know who that is, but
her story
is
done and dusted.
Oh, right.
Well, they've lost 2 big actors, which is a little bit concerning, but, you know.
Oh.
What else we have? We've got a bunch of the Witcher stuff coming out as well, which, you know,
I've only seen
they're
season
kind of
1.
trying to make that an MCU sort of thing, but by TV.
Is there spin-offs? Yeah, isn't there?
There is spin-offs, yeah. We also have, I think, Sweet Tooth will be coming out with its latest season. You know, the one with the kids with the antlers, and it's a really odd TV show.
No, I've heard of it. Now that you said the kid with the antlers, it took me a while to...
Kid with the antlers. Yeah. And I think, of course, there is a rumour that we'll have Squid Game season 2 by the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
But
and the Hunger Games prequel movie.
Oh,
that
yeah.
comes out in November.
I read the book.
I've not. I have it, and I need to read it by November. I've got to November.
You had plenty of time. I had an audiobook, so I just kind of sat and listened to it on the bus. So that's how I absorbed it. It's good, but there are some moments where it's trying to humanise Snow.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not going to lie, Snow is at his best when he is, you know, scaring the living hell out of some children and making them go into an
I just can't imagine him being sympathetic.
It's difficult.
I've read the books and
they
seen
have
the films
really tried,
of the original trilogy.
But don't worry, by the end of the book, Snow is back to his usual child killing.
Just the way we like
child killing, poisoning, rose sniffing self. So yeah. Anyway.
Rose sniffing? I was like, what did you just say?
Anyway, we'll be back next week. We haven't quite figured out our schedule, so...
Yeah, it's a bit in the air right now just because it's quite busy.
Yeah, so we'll have
Time
that
up.
hopefully coming up
Yeah.
soon. But
we'll let you know.
we'll let you know through our social media, which of course is the Geek Show _GCU, and that is for both Twitter and Instagram. And of course, if you're wanting to listen to the rest of this episode, if you've just listened in, which I doubt you have, we will have all of it up by next week on the YouTube channel, so long as is not having a meltdown because we have a big project due.
Oh, don't even.
Yep, don't worry. Em's not rocking back and forth in the corner.
No, not at all. No, I'm not stressed.
Anyway,
rocking.
so to finish up this episode, we have I Do Anything for Love, but I Won't Do That by Meatloaf. So listen and enjoy.